Hey, what's up, everybody? Dan Baczynski here, along with David Brunsting.
What's good?
And welcome to the Foolish Youth Podcast. Okay. This is the last podcast of 2018. Kind of a big deal, you know.
Hoot hoot.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about because it's the end of the year, you know. But Christmas just came around. Good time.
Yeah, you have yourself a Merry Christmas, Dan?
Oh man, I had a great Christmas. It was kind of one of these Christmases too, where my family, we all get each other stuff, and it was really cool because it seemed like this year everyone just really understood and got things that you didn't expect, but you were really happy about.
Yeah.
Like for example, I got a new golf outfit.
Whoa.
From my
You
parents.
have to crack that out this summer.
Dude, I was so happy because I didn't even think about it, but then when I saw it, I'm like, thank God. I've been wearing the same too tight, small fucking bolo.
You know what my mom got me?
What?
Yeah, for the past year or so, I've been thinking I want to work in finance. And my mom just hates it, right? She thinks it's a bunch of crooks. So for Christmas, she got me this book that's literally all about how everybody works in Wall Street. It's just like a bunch of crooks. How they're all scamming, and how the whole financial system is just full of greedy people. And this is literally what I want to do for my career. And she gets me a book just completely destroying that.
Oh my gosh, that is the most passive aggressive gift I've ever heard.
I'm reading it, she's like, David, you learning things from that?
Honestly, your mom is hilarious with that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
you know?
Well, it's kind of funny because I do a lot of stuff she doesn't agree with, but we still get along.
Well, that's the thing. I've really found this year with getting older, it's parents understand that they can't control you anymore. You know, you're your own person now. You're really becoming who you are, and that's not going to be exactly what they want.
Yeah.
Which is big. It's big.
Chill. Yeah,
honestly, to me, this was a huge year, and I think next year is going to be a huge year.
Yeah.
Because so much in life is changing now. Seems like life is getting so real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'll be going to my first co-op to him this summer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you know where you're working yet?
No, I started applying for jobs in January, so
Ooh,
if
that's
any
exciting.
of the listeners have some connections in Toronto or
Tanner,
else in Ontario,
if you know anything, give us a shout.
maybe
Hit
I
us
can
up on the
work at
snap.
Tanner's accounting firm.
Imagine if you became Tanner's boss.
First co-op job, I just walk in. First day of the job. Tanner, we're gonna need you to file some more receipts there, please.
Get your shit together.
Pick it up now. Pick it up.
What are you doing? Are you listening to this podcast? Get those goddamn headphones out of your ears and get that shit going. Don't listen to that shit.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's exciting. But, yeah. I mean, life hits you hard in university, I find. I mean, I guess for me it was a lot different than you, because I left the home, you know?
Yeah.
I was gone
Out of there.
a lot. I didn't go home hardly at all. And it seemed very real this year. It really felt like I was kind of doing it on my own.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. That's
You only cook so many grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh man. But also from Christmas, we both got Red Dead Redemption 2. Huge game. And this is going to be a perfect review of the game because Dave's really into the single player, the story, kind of the whole reason you get Red Dead 2. Me, on the other hand, I'm the weird fucking kid that went, fuck the single player. I'm just going straight into multiplayer and I'm going to grind that out.
It's a big play.
So, first thing is, Dave, what did you think of the single player?
Man, the single player is actually spectacular for it. I don't even know where to begin with it. So it's one of those games where you can really do whatever you want.
Once it starts out you're in the mountains and you there's a bunch of story missions, so it's pretty closed. But then you get down to the first village you're in, which is Valentine or something, and then it just opens up. If you want to go hunting, you can do that. You can go rob some people if you want. The combat itself is
The combat is amazing.
the combat's fairly fun.
I would say
Yeah.
I would say it's better than GTA combat. It's the same style, but there's something about that Western aspect.
Yeah, and the guns feel a lot more satisfying than like
Oh my god!
when you're clocking in headshots.
I love how they do like since we play on PS4. I love how when you click R2 you shoot, but then you have to click R2 again to cock it back.
Yeah.
That to me was such a small but perfect detail because it feels like a real Western gun now because you actually have to like cock it back and wait to aim or else it's going to be a bigger radius.
Yeah,
You know?
like the levels of detail in the game in general are crazy. Like
It's
this
insane.
This is the kind of game where like, this was kind of a big story. I don't know if the listeners know about this, but like the horses, if you go to like cold conditions, like if you go up into the mountains, they make the horses' testicles shrink. Like they have that coded into the game. Like I don't think any other games even have horse balls.
Well, I did notice online that my horse would randomly take a shit. Like, I'd just be riding, and also you just take a shit.
What? It doesn't
and
happen to me.
I thought that was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
I was like, wow, this is great, because a horse would really take a shit. And I don't know if this is also in the single player, but I know in the multiplayer, you have to, your outfit has to match your climate.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I got this beautiful outfit for my guy, and it was this really cool looking, like, long leather jacket with a cool cowboy hat and shit. I was feeling so good. I get outside and my guy's like, yeah, it's too fucking hot to wear this. So he was just draining his health and I'm like, oh man. But it's cool that they add these small little details.
Yeah. Well, you have to think about everything in that game. Like you gotta feed your horse, you gotta feed yourself.
Yeah, and kind of to bring this up, like in comparison to Fallout 76, you see the difference between someone who's just put their time and love into a game versus someone who just wants money, you know?
Yeah, they just do it together.
Because that's one thing I really commend Rockstar for. Their games have glitches when they first come out. Although this online was pretty strong right away. Like I've had my glitches that were kind of annoying, but overall, I am more than impressed with the beta.
Yeah.
But you can just tell that they care about making a good game. They're more focused on making a game that everyone just adores for how good it is than a game that'll sell billions. And, well, I guess...
It will sell billions.
Like, yeah, but...
Well, I appreciate how they took their time with it. Like, the original Red Dead came out in, what, like 2012? 2011, something like that. It's like 6-7 years, right? Like, they really, like, they didn't, like, rush anything. Like, Fallout 76 came out a year... What, 2 years after Fallout 4?
Which is ridiculous.
For, like, a game of that size, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just like just the amount of stuff you can do. Like today, I was just like going down a trail and I hear some yelling in the trees. So I'm like, what's going on here? So I just hop off my horse, walk into the forest, and there's a Ku Klux Klan meeting going on. Like there's literally a full-on ceremony going on. They're all doing their chants and stuff, and I'm just chilling, looking around like, huh,
holy
what's
shit.
going on here? And then like they're like, this guy's getting like ordained or something. Like, pardon me, I'm not super familiar with Ku Klux Klan customs. But like
we're not big Ku Klux Klan fans ourselves.
Yeah, but like in the process of it, like, you know, they have the crosses on fire. One of the guys gets lit up and like two of the dudes like burned to death. Everybody else runs away. And like there's this whole like thing that just happens that I'm just like there to witness.
And
then I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna like kill the head guy, so I just stab the head guy and like, go off on my pay.
And see, it's those. I find what makes this game so great is these small details that they just put so much time into.
Yeah.
Like the dialogue is so good because it feels really Western. Like I remember the very intro to the online. Your guy's in a prison cell, and there's two guards just talking as you're just riding through the mountains, and the one guy is just like, man, my wife's always reading books and I fucking hate it. It's like, education is stupid, especially for women. And like nowadays you're like, that's pretty awful. But in terms of the time and the social aspects of it, it feels like it fits. It feels like a real Western game, you know?
Yeah, there's a story mission where like my job is literally just to protect a bunch of like women who are like protesting the fact that they can't vote. And like there's all these like drunk dudes just like walking around just like yelling at them like, go back to your sewing. And like yeah, the story itself is like for like the campaign, like a lot of games I'll play like while listening to music, with this game I just can't do that because like whenever I'm like walking around with someone, like there's always like interesting like dialogue going on.
Yeah, it's cool that there's actually dialogue that you care about, because I
Yeah.
find there's so many games where you just want to skip. You just want to skip as like fast as you can so you can just keep playing.
Yeah.
I was impressed by how good the online story is.
Yeah.
Because the basis of the online story is you got framed for the death of this guy named Mr. McClurk, and you got freed by this bounty hunter or something that works for Mrs. McClurk, the wife of the guy that got killed, and now your job is to find out the 4 people who killed her husband and framed you. And it's a nice story because there's so much extra to it that it's very impressive for an online.
Yeah, especially something that they just threw together
Because
for an online play. Right?
exactly, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't find GTA Online their story that compelling. I found it was
Like the heists.
yeah, like I found the heist fun, but the
Yeah.
story itself was kind of
I don't
lacking.
think there wasn't really a story.
Well, yeah, and like you talk to like Lamar and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and it was like kind of boring. But now the story is so much more
that's just something you
impactful.
can get kind of invested in.
And what I loved about it too is, you know, the honor system in Red Dead. Depending on if you're good or bad, it branches off the story with who helps you out.
Yeah.
Like for example, I rob, I kill people, I do the badass shit, and
In a video
because
game.
of that, yeah, in a video game, and because of that, I got a certain character that is now gonna help me out.
Yeah.
That's just a brutal, badass motherfucker. And now we get to do heists, we rob trains, and we do that. But when I help someone else who was on the good side of the moral system,
Yeah.
it was this marshal who is always about like, you do stuff illegally, but it's like for the greater good. It's almost like a Machiavellian approach
Yeah.
where it's like
The
the
ends
ends justify
justify-
the means. But yeah, honestly, fantastic game. And another big part, again, coming back to Fallout 76, you can tell there's so much, so many upgrades from the last Red Dead, you know? Like Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 almost feels like there was a degrade in quality.
Yeah.
Which as in Red Dead to Red Dead 2, they took their time and it feels like 6 years worth of upgrades went into
Yeah.
this. And it's because the graphics are amazing. I love the graphics.
Oh yeah.
I love the gameplay. Just everything about it just feels right. Like the movement, like small things like that just feel so
Yeah.
clean.
And the variation in environments is also like you start
Oh.
you start the movie in the mountains. It it kind of feels like a movie. It's a video game. You start the game in the mountains, and then like for like the story single player, you go down like in the first village you're in is kind of like a Dakota, kind of like plains and stuff. And like you go there for a while, and then the next place you go to is like full on southern, like everybody's super racist, like it's like plantations and stuff.
Yeah.
like it's super gross.
That's
Like when I went to the new settlement, they were just like, yeah, the clothes you're wearing right now, you gotta change that, man, or else your health's gonna start draining.
that's so cool. I
Yeah.
love that. That's such a beautiful small detail. But overall, game's amazing. I got 2 other games. I got Battlefield 5 and Soul Calibur 6.
Really?
I haven't even opened the plastic wrapping yet.
No way.
All I've touched is Red Dead because I love it.
for Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm excited to play them. Like I know Battlefield 5 has been taking a huge hit. Have you heard about that?
I've heard it's gotten mixed reviews.
Oh well, yeah. Well, the reviews are mixed, but the actual like selling,
Yeah.
I
Oh, the
heard.
sales have been really
Yeah,
high?
the sales have been terrible.
Oh, terrible.
Terrible.
Oh, what?
Because you know what they did? They mocked their audience. Did you see that?
No,
With the
no.
grand reveal, they had Battlefield 5 and they had all these like quotes where it said like white men, white men, white men.
Yeah.
And it said feminists are killing history. Stop feminizing history. And like they were doing all this stuff like mocking the
Oh,
people who were criticizing it. And so everyone went, "All right, fuck you then." 87% less pre-orders.
No way.
80.
I think there's other factors that play with that, though.
Oh,
I
but
think-
I
think-
think it was a huge part of it.
I also think another thing is Battlefield 5 is a game of the Second World War, right?
Mhm.
And I think that people kind of got over the Second World War thing they need with Call of Duty last year, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, and also, like, they had Battlefield 1 last year, which was the First World War, and it's like, and like, they're both, like,
like historic shooters. Like, is there really that going to be that much different between them? Right?
Well, I heard from a lot of people that their biggest complaint is they feel Battlefield 5 is just a reskin of Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
Which is not something you want to hear,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I mean, I will still enjoy it because I loved Battlefield 1. I thought that was so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
But that's also because I'm kind of a history nerd, so that stuff to me is just fun.
You're the target audience.
Yeah, I am the one who is supposed to be buying that
Yeah.
game. But I cannot believe it. I don't think there's ever been a moment like this, other than the EA Battlefront 2, where the audience has just... They've stood up for themselves, you know?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because the company that produces Battlefront and Battlefield DICE is just like, they make some of like the prettiest games you'll ever see. Like their shooting mechanics are like on top, like everything they're a really good developing studio, but EA, the company that owns them, is just like
They're so greedy.
They're just notorious for just being complete
Complete
sleazeballs.
assholes.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They're assholes. They're assholes who care about nothing but the money. You know, they've become so disconnected from their community that they don't want to hear criticism.
Yeah.
You know, no one wants to hear criticism anymore. Not like anyone liked criticism before, but no one will take it anymore.
Yeah.
So now they're using it and making fun of their audience. And I think this is going to be a huge lesson for EA and DICE. It's like, yeah, you make fun of the people buying your game, they're not going to fucking buy it, you
Yeah.
know? But I'm glad to see stuff like this, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm really glad to see people kind of sticking up for themselves and how this microtransactions is slowly starting to, like, kind of become almost what it was 5-6 years ago, where you can still do it, but it's not a huge part, because people are getting sick and tired of that. And
With Red Dead Online, there's the only microtransactions. I know there's a microtransaction, but I think it's in terms of like clothing. Is it?
mhm,
Yeah.
it's more like aesthetics and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Can you buy gold?
I'm not sure. I think I
Heard that it's not like you can't just buy guns.
Mhm.
Right?
Oh man, I love how they do it too with the catalog.
Yeah.
That's how you buy shit. I think that's so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, if this game came out earlier, this would have won Game of the Year.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah.
Because even though Fortnite was such a big game, this game is so clean and so good. It would have to win, you know?
And I think if Battlefield 5 had come out in place of Battlefield 1,
Oh, people would have loved
people
it.
would have loved it. Right? It's just like it's.
Yeah,
you know,
but do you think
couple
they
years later?
do you think they still would have been angry about the trailer though?
I'm not sure. Like it's been 2 years, but like even back then, people. So for people who don't know, with the trailers, that people are kind of upset at EA because like there was a lot of women in the trailer. That sounds really bad, honestly. But it was like a World War II shooter, where women were like represented way more than they would have been in an actual.
I think
post-war
another
setting.
issue though was not only was it a woman, but it was a woman with like a metal arm, like an amputee woman, and everyone's like,
it
"What
looked
the
like
fuck?"
a futuristic game.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was-
set in 1941.
And
like,
and there were so many good opportunities to use women. Like Russian snipers were women.
Yeah.
Like that was a known fact. Russian women were some of the most badass fighters in World War II.
Yeah.
Which is like that's something you should draw attention to, you know?
you
Because
can't
that's
just
so
make
cool.
up shit. Like,
Because people are done with that. People are done with having these political agendas forced on them in areas that shouldn't have political agendas.
Yeah.
Video games shouldn't, in my opinion. I don't think any game should be trying to force their political agenda, because you don't play a video game to hear the company's agenda.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with it or not, that's not why I play a game. I play a game to have fun, and if it's a historical game, I want it to be historical. You know, I think that's what people are saying, but no one can listen to that anymore. If you don't agree with them, then you're a misogynist, you're a racist, you're all this and that.
it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get into it, but
but you already have.
but we already have. We're already too deep.
We're already too deep to pull
But honestly, great game. Great
Yeah.
game, Red Dead. I love it. I love it. And I haven't played Soul Calibur 5, but have you seen the customization in that game? This game has become amazing because you can pretty much make anyone you want. So people are making like Mr. Krabs in it, Homer Simpson, Squidward, like all this shit. And that's probably the funnest part of the game now, is making these hilarious characters and people kind of almost compete on who can make the coolest looking characters.
Yeah.
Which is
It's like when people were making all those when the Wii came out back in the day.
Yeah,
They could
yeah.
make you, what was that, me? I remember I would look up all the tutorials on how to like make Mii's. Stuff like make a Donkey Kong Mii.
yeah. Well, do you remember in like Black Ops 1 when you could make your own little like clan tag or your own little kind of picture? Do you remember that?
Oh, I didn't play Black Ops 1.
Oh, dude, you can make these, and I remember I looked up how to make Homer Simpson on this, and I was so proud of myself when I got it done. It was so cool, but it was so hard. But yeah, I mean, customization is always something that should be in a video game.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the funnest parts. Like for me, making my cowboy in Red Dead Redemption, that was so
Man,
much fun.
no matter what you make with those cowboys, they're gonna come out looking that butt ass ugly. Like it's so ugly.
Honestly.
I made my guy 19, and he looks like he's like 36 or something.
Dude, I changed my age because of that. I looked at my guy, I'm like, there's no way this guy's 19. So I'm like, fuck it, he's like 30. Whatever. But other than video games, we've had some other big news. Dave got his wisdom teeth
Yeah,
taken
dude.
out. Big story.
Well, not really, but it was very exciting.
What happened?
Well, no, it's just like for wisdom teeth is one of those surgeries that they put you under. And I was like, I've never been put under before, so I was pretty hyped. I was like, what's gonna happen? I was like, am I gonna remember falling asleep and stuff? Because from what I hear people tell me, it's like they give you the drugs and you go 10, 9, and then you like fall asleep. But like the weird part about it for me was that like my parents left, they hooked me up and stuff. My brother and my dad left, and I'm just chilling like, okay, we're gonna start giving you the thing slowly. You're gonna slowly fall asleep, and they put like the oxygen mask over my nose, which isn't a drug or anything. It was just like to maintain my breathing, and like. I remember them doing that, and then I don't remember anything else. Like, I don't remember, like, them, like, starting the drugs. I don't remember falling asleep. The next thing I remember is being in the waiting room. Like, not even, like, I don't even remember waking up in the chair. Like, the next thing I remember is sitting in the waiting room. I have my phone out, and I have, like, 3-cent Snapchats. And I'm like, I have no idea what I said.
Yeah.
and that was like, and it was like delivered 5 minutes ago, and I'm just like, I don't know
Yeah,
what
I remember
said.
you sending one to, I think, the group chat, and you're just like, boys, I made it out alive, thank God, the wisdom teeth are done. And we're like, oh, are you good? How are you feeling? You're like, good, I'm just so glad I'm alive. And I was dying, bro. That was so funny. What is it about, like, the wisdom teeth surgery? Like, what drug do they use?
Well, they have to give you a drug that will literally just like put you under for like an hour, right? Like, so obviously you can't just like wake up and like be completely sober.
That's
like, that's
true.
not how it works.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, my dad was on like a driven mission to embarrass me as much as possible.
Oh.
Like the first thing he does is like give me a Wi-Fi hotspot as soon as I get out. It's like, here, Snapchat all your friends, and I'm like. Oh, I don't remember that happening, but I guess I assume I was like, okay. And then he's like videotaping me. Like, there's videos of me like...
Well, it's become like a thing now where once you get your wisdom teeth out, you just want to record it because it's
Yeah.
just so funny. All the shit that people say.
My dad has this video of me, like, me and him talking, and Jacob had his surgery after me, so he wasn't in the room yet, and the whole video is just me, like, flipping shit about Jacob. And just being like, where is Jacob? Why is it taking so long? Like, I'm just, like, freaking out about my brother.
Ew. Man, I will never get that experience because I don't have wisdom teeth.
Yeah,
Which
I mean-
is so weird.
Yeah,
I've
what the
never
heck?
heard of that. I was like, yeah, when am I getting them out? And then my dentist's like, oh, you don't have any.
Is that the same with your brothers?
No, everyone else in my family does. I'm just a fucking
That's
weird
pretty blessed.
anomaly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad because I heard it's sore, and I know my older brother got like them infected and shit got bad, you know. So
And then my brother, they had to give him extra stuff to put him under.
really,
Yeah, for whatever reason.
probably because he's doing so many drugs.
Except he's not. And then when he got out, they had to give him gravel so he wouldn't like throw up or something like that.
Oops.
So he was completely out of it. I
Really?
have this text log from him because like the nurses were getting mad at me because I kept talking because you're not supposed to talk when you get out because like your gums are bleeding and stuff.
Oh, they were getting mad. Everyone talks, bro.
Well, maybe probably everybody talks, but they're just like, yeah, you need to stop talking. So my dad's like, okay, you can't talk to Jacob, you have to text him. So I texted and I'm just like, hey Jacob, how you doing? And Jacob just like, he David. And then he had said like he was texting Megan. I guess this is this friend of his. And I'm just like, how's Megan? What? And then he's just like, I haven't finished texting G yet. I'm like, who's G? He's like, Megan. And I'm just like, tell her I say hi. And he's like, oh no. like the whole conversation makes absolutely no sense.
Oh man.
Like, but yeah, it was pretty fun. The recovery was not fun though. Like, and then like, I don't know if I told you about this, but like, they gave us these T3s, which are like Tylenol extra strength. Like they're super hardcore. Like you can't buy them at a pharmacy. Yeah, they prescribed us like 30 capsules, so like 10 days, 3 a day, right? And I take them the first day. The next morning I get up and my mom's like, yeah, I took them away. So
What?
Yeah, she didn't want me to get like hooked on them or something. So she literally took away my painkillers the day after my surgery.
Oh man.
Like, I mean, the pain, I mean, I was fine without them. Like, it wasn't even that bad. But, like, it was just like, who does that, man? Like, I wanted to keep them for, like, if I had a bad headache or something. But my mom just, like, nope. Just, like, drives them back to the pharmacy the day after.
Yeah, but that might be the problem. You don't take the T3s and then you just start popping them when you have headaches. Next thing you know, you're hooked.
I have no T3s, though.
Yeah.
I know,
so
it's a disaster.
I guess you'll always be safe, though. Because that's the scary thing with shit like that. That's how people get addicted to, like, Oxycontins
I don't know.
and
They
shit.
gave us 30 of them. Like, that's insane.
That seems...
Like, you
obsessive,
realistically
almost.
only need them for, like, 5 or 6 days maximum.
Mhm.
Like, I almost, like, this is a conspiracy theory. I don't actually believe it, but I almost think that, like, they get some sort of kickback from, like, Big Pharma for, like, dishing out, like, stupid amounts of pills so that everybody gets hooked on them.
I wouldn't be surprised if...
Because that's way more than you need. Like, 30 pills of, like, an addictive... It's not super addictive, but you can get addicted to it.
Oh, easily.
Like, I think
man.
one of my grandparents got, like, hooked on, like, T3s for a little bit. Like...
Ooh.
She was like, apparently she's like, can't wait till 3 o'clock. I'm allowed to take my pill. My Oma told me this weekend. I'm like, man, that's not good. But yeah, that was an interesting experience.
Yeah. But, you're just full of stories, though.
Man,
Fucking
it's
Apple
the
Store?
Apple Store? Yeah. So like, first off, like, frick Apple, man. Big frick you to Apple.
Yeah. Steve Jobs, if you're listening to this from the dead, frick you, dude.
Yeah. So I have this phone, and like they had this offer where like basically Apple did this thing like a year or so ago. They got in super big shit because they were like degrading the battery of the people's phones in order to like make other parts of it better without telling the users. So they had this offer that you can get like a free battery replacement for like $35. Not free battery. You can get a battery replaced for $35, and it's like usually like $65 until the end of the year. So I was like, all right, I'll get that because my battery's been like pretty out of whack lately.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there and I have I have a couple scratches on my phone and I have like one crack. And I was like, whatever. So she takes it, she like takes notes on it and stuff. She's like, all right, I'll be ready in 4 hours. So like I go home and I go back to the store to pick up my phone, and like they make like the cracks like way worse. Like all of the cracks were like probably like spread out by like, you know, like a mil, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like centimeters, like small stuff.
Like but like all of the cracks I had on my screen were just like that much more defined. Like
Ugh.
before, like I couldn't like I don't think anybody I know would have actually noticed the cracks on my screen before. But now they're super noticeable. Like my brother saw my phone, my dad saw my phone, they instantly were like, yo, what happened? Like, did you drop it? Right? And like the thing that pissed me off the most about it is because they didn't even tell me that was a risk heading into the thing.
It probably shouldn't be a risk. It was probably just some dumbass working behind.
I mean, they are like doing like they're lifting up the screen and stuff, and it is glass, so I understand how it could happen. But like, I even looked over like the terms and conditions that I signed, and it mentions like that you could lose data, that like if you modify your phone, they're not responsible for damage. But it doesn't say any. So I'm going back today to like talk to the manager or something because that is some bullshit.
Bro, all I'm saying, this could be a huge lawsuit. You can make
Yeah.
millions.
I'm
off
honestly
of
gonna
this.
say my dad's a lawyer. Like I think I might pull that out of my ass. I might just be like, well, legally you can't do that, and they're like, well, that's not true. I'll be like, well, that's not what my dad said, and he's a lawyer. That's my well, maybe not my dad. That sounds a bit bitchy. I don't know. My uncle.
Just tell him that your uncle works for Nintendo. That always works for everything.
What?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, well my uncle works for Nintendo. What are
Yeah.
you gonna do? And then,
Yeah, but like, yeah. So I go to the store. And it was just like she like gives me my phone. She's like, yeah, the cracks got a little bit worse. And I'm like, so am I gonna get like a discount on a new screen or something? They're like, oh, it's not really covered under warranty. And I'm like, okay.
cool, thanks.
Well, I just assumed it was in the terms and conditions. They were just like, yeah, if we break your phone screen more, we're not responsible. But they don't even say anything in it, so it's like, whatever. That's my last story of the day, though.
Man, that's a little controversial, though.
Yeah.
Apple, you better hope this podcast doesn't get more than
I'm
5
bringing
views.
the podcast audio to the store tonight to show them like that I'm just lighting them the fuck up. Like,
That they're gonna be exposed. This is gonna be a huge
they're gonna
scandal.
we might even get paid off this. Like they might just be like, yeah, if you don't release that audio, we'll give you $100,000.
If that was the case, man, I would literally delete the whole channel and be like, I'll do whatever you want. Oh
like,
my
so yeah,
gosh.
so if like a podcast episode comes out in like a couple of days, we're just talking about how fucking sick Apple is. You know we've been paid off.
Yeah.
And like, can you really blame us?
Oh yeah, by the way, this is sponsored by the new iPhone X. Nah. But man, wouldn't it be cool if we had sponsors?
Man, we should just have pretend sponsors on the podcast. Just
Yeah.
to make us seem more
We just gotta
legitimate.
fake it until we make it, you know? But what if we started like naming all these brands and then we did get popular and then they're like, yo, we didn't sponsor you. And then that becomes a huge scandal.
Yeah.
Then what?
I don't know if they would be mad about. I guess they wouldn't want to be, associated with us.
Well, because I know with Nintendo, a lot of game reviews can't do Nintendo. Like I know Angry Joe,
Mm-hmm.
he used to review Nintendo games, but he doesn't anymore because they copyright him and they like just take his.
Yeah.
Things
Just
away?
for playing their game, which seems really counterintuitive.
I think that's a little ridiculous, but honestly, Nintendo is such a beautiful company that I can get over it. Because they're the only ones that do couch gaming anymore.
Yeah.
Have you realized that?
Yeah, it's true. Like PS4, like you name a game where you can play with your buddies. I mean, sports games,
That's it.
but like aside from that, it's like people don't really play Call of Duty anymore, like together. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Mhm.
not a thing.
Like, you remember back in the days with, like, Modern Warfare 2, all your buddies would come over, you'd do
Yeah.
4-player split screen.
You have those birthday parties.
Oh
and
my
you have
gosh.
like 8 dudes taking turns playing Call, and I was the guy who had no idea what he was doing. Like I was just like I would like be mixing up the joysticks like between the walking one and the looking one.
Oh man, well dude, I gotta bring the Nintendo Switch sometime over, because that is one of the best systems
Yeah.
I've ever played. Because it's so cool how like the side controllers become their own controllers.
Mm-hmm.
So technically we have 2 full controllers, but they split off into 4 controllers.
Yeah.
And it's just so much fun. The games are so well done. The couch gaming is something that shouldn't die out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why all these companies are getting rid of it, but
Well, people just play online with their friends now.
well,
Like,
because they're forced to though.
yeah. Okay.
Like,
yeah,
you
that's
know?
fair.
I think couch gaming would still be a thing if there were more games for it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think... Have you ever heard someone go, man, fuck couch gaming? You know?
Yeah.
Fuck playing with your friends in the same room. Yeah, no one's ever said
Yeah, well,
that.
like, yeah, when I was a kid, when I had the Wii, like, I would always play with my brother. Like,
Right?
I wouldn't even play by myself, really, right?
There's something
So,
so...
like, now it's just, like, it's solo a
Yeah.
lot of the time.
Well, it's all a money thing.
Yeah.
Everything's about the freaking money, man. What's
Well,
happening?
what do you mean by that?
Well, like, there's a reason why there's no couch gaming. What do you think gets more of a profit?
Yeah.
One person having
Okay.
4 people over playing on one PS4, or 4 people each with their own PS4, their own PSN account, their own PlayStation Plus? How much more money do you think that is if everyone has to buy their own? You know,
Yeah.
they're making so much more money, but it's just kind of crummy. But that's the capitalist world we live in. Man, I wish we lived in a communist country.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because,
People
you know,
would be walking around with knives.
that's a shout out to the unseen podcast that no one will ever see. Yeah, sorry, we were supposed to put a podcast out earlier, but shit went awry
Yeah.
due to some
To some unfocused participants.
unfocused and just fucking wild. Like, what the hell? Yeah, it was a bit of a shit show. I deleted it, unfortunately, so there will never be, 10 years from now, bonus footage when we have millions of subscribers.
We have other podcasts we've deleted, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There'll be plenty of footage.
Oh, yeah, there's
Stick around, boys.
there's so much cringy shit we talk about.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, it's tough, but we're gonna make it in the podcast industry.
Oh, of course.
I have a feel.
That's a given.
I have a feeling 2019 is gonna be one hell of a year
Oh,
for
yeah.
for the foolish
Oh,
youth.
yeah.
I think merch is gonna come out. Tanner, stay in touch. We're gonna get you know the Photoshop that we have of the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I know no one else noticed this but me, but I'd like to apologize. I kept saying Obi-Wan for you, Dave. I'm like, yeah, I put your face on Obi-Wan. That was Luke Skywalker.
Oh.
I apologize to any of the Star
Are
Wars
you
fans.
kidding me?
It's so funny though, because I know no one else noticed it, but while I was listening, I was getting mad at myself. I'm like, it's fucking Luke Skywalker, man. What are you doing? But to all of you watching, especially you, Tanner, I hope you're having a good time in Florida, because as we're recording this, he's in Florida. So anyone who knows Tanner, his house is open to rob. So let's go, boys.
221 Fairview Avenue, Guelph.
I don't even think that's a real fucking thing. I thought you were going to give your address away for a second. I'm like, what? All these people just start knocking on your door. You're like, oh, shit. But, yeah, let's move into kind of movie stuff.
Okay.
Because Kevin Spacey had that big video kind of
we haven't
return.
talked about that yet.
And holy shit, that was the creepiest, strangest fucking thing I've
Just a
ever
quick
seen.
recap for those who don't know. Kevin Spacey was, I think like a year or so ago, he like was accused of sexually, I don't know, assaulting someone at a party. Like 20
Yeah,
years
either
ago.
sexually assaulting or sexually harassing
Yeah,
a kid.
some dude, and then like his response was just to like come out as gay. Like just because you're gay doesn't mean you can rape people.
That is probably the worst card he could have thrown out there.
And then just recently, I think like last week or so, there was like what happened? There was evidence of him like groping like some dude on a bus.
Some 18-year-old boy, he put his hands down his pants, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting. And yeah, so that came out, and he puts out this whack-ass video of him playing his House of Cards character.
Frank Underwood.
Frank Underwood. And it was this weird monologue that was like tied to reality, but also his character. Like, I found he would go like back and forth about it.
Yeah.
And
Like what he's saying in he kind of like contradicts himself multiple times in the video. What gets me about it is that like you can tell there's a full-on production crew behind it. Like he had to hire people to do this. Like
which is so weird.
like how much money would Kevin Spacey have to pay you for like to do the filming for that video?
Yeah, like that's a bit of an integrity move
Yeah.
to.
Anyways,
fucking-
so like he talks about like how like he just like, yeah, well people are gonna forgive me for whatever I did. Like you guys still want me. Like he's basically saying he's still gonna be a star. But then he goes on about like how there's not really any evidence and people have jumped to conclusions and stuff. So I don't really know if he's admitting to it or he's like saying that he didn't do it.
He kept going back and forth. He's like, yeah, you know what I've done.
But like the whole thing to respond to like sexual assault allegations by creating like a monologue video where you're pretending to be a character from a show you're in is just so tone deaf that like I can not even wrap my head around it.
To be honest, I think he's just having a complete mental breakdown because I think
Yeah.
he knows it's over. Because once this comes out, he's probably like, I could see prison time, depending on how much shit comes out.
Well, at least he'll be charged. Like at least he's gonna be like a criminal sexual offender.
And
at
I
the
think
very least.
his career's over
Oh yeah.
now. You know.
I think it already was over, but like
Yeah, but like guaranteed. Like I think
he's not getting back in the
This
film
is-
industry after that.
this is the dagger.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was listening actually to the Joe Rogan podcast, and they were talking about this, and he brought up a really good point that like Kevin Spacey, yeah, he's a fucking creep, but he is an amazing actor. You know, you can't deny that.
Yeah.
But it's almost like these insane actors are just all crazy. Like you look at Kevin Spacey, the guy's a mental case, but he's such a good actor. It's almost like you have to be insane to be that good of an actor. Because they were also talking about Daniel Day-Lewis, and he's from There Will Be Blood. He played Lincoln. He also did Gangs of New York, and he always wins awards because his method acting is so strong. Like you believe it 100%.
Yeah.
But they say he's so obsessive with everything he talks about. It's insane. Like it's beyond the point of like normal.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you have to be that because you look at Quentin Tarantino. Guy's an amazing director, but he's a bit of an oddball, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And like, look at you. You're a talented
Yeah, I'm a
talented
fucking
movie maker, and you're fucking crazy.
I am, bro. I'm fucking nuts. I'm local, essay.
He's
No.
a bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of true.
Okay, I was joking, but if you want to admit to it, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, let's just okay. If I ever go somewhere and I become a complete loony, send it back to this podcast
Yeah.
where I admitted it already. Because then they'll be like, well, at least he knows.
They can't get mad at you if you admit to it, right? Like, you can do anything. As long as you admit to it, you'll be clear.
Oh,
Like-
man. Jeez. But, yeah, that was crazy. That, to me, was insane.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was a good call by...
I mean, at this
Any
point,
means.
this point, it's kind of a lost cause, right?
Yeah, at this point, I feel like he's just Hail Marrying, like, everything he does. Like, pulling out the gay card when he's on terms for, like, sexual assault.
Would not recommend.
Would not recommend to any of you watching if you are on a sexual assault
The
case.
best thing about that was like after there's all those memes where all these people are doing like super bad shit. And they're just like, I've decided to come out as a gay man. And everyone's like, okay.
Oh, man. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see PewDiePie's YouTube Rewind?
Oh, what was it?
He did a real YouTube Rewind.
Okay.
Like, of course, it was more focused on, like, stuff that he does, like memes.
Yeah.
But he also brought up the Logan Pauls, like
Did
Logan
he like
Paul,
have other
Jake
YouTubers
Paul.
in it?
It was more like videos of other YouTubers.
Oh, okay.
Like he had Ali A in there.
Yeah.
He talked about the fight, the Suicide Forest, all the crazy memes. Because
Yeah, how
this
did
was
they-
a great year
How
for
did they not
memes.
talk about the fight on the YouTube Rewind?
Because it wasn't something that made YouTube look good.
It was
They
it wasn't
they didn't
on point.
want any of the Pauls
Yeah.
in there because they brought bad publicity. But bad or not, that's what YouTube is.
Yeah.
That's the real YouTube. I find YouTube is almost ashamed of what it is, so it tries to fake what it is by having fucking Will Smith, Ninja, like all these people who aren't YouTubers. It's like, okay, you know, and I find it's more shameful to pretend you're something you're not than to accept that you're kind of broken, you know? And like, the thing about the Pauls and PewDiePie and all that is, yeah, they might not be perfect and they might have a lot of awful things, but at least it's real, you know? It makes YouTube feel so real when people make mistakes and people are off like that. That's what makes YouTube beautiful compared to like Hollywood and stuff like that. It's real people giving their real lives, you know? Like, less so nowadays, but when it first started, it was just random people grabbing cameras.
Yeah.
So it was reality, which is now, they're trying to fake it. And people don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah.
I heard it's gotten more likes than the Rewind got dislikes. So.
Oh, no way. It's already got more likes? Hold on, I'm actually gonna check this out. PewDiePie. Okay, how many likes does it? It's got 3.9 million likes. And it's got 14 million views. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, it was kind of weird because when I watched it, it had 400,000 views, but 1.1 million likes.
Oh, it probably just hadn't updated the views yet. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's just the YouTube
Because, like, I was like, what?
website. Like, that's not physically possible. And I don't think PewDiePie is buying likes. Like, come on.
Like, of all people to do that, I feel like he'd be the last. Because this guy is just so beyond. Like, he's so on top of the game
Yeah.
that nothing phases him anymore. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
If you think about it, any other YouTuber would be dead by now. Like, not dead, like
Dead.
literally dead, but their channel would be dead. You know?
Yeah, he
After
keeps,
all
like,
this
my,
shit.
yeah, my brother still watches him, like, regularly. Like,
Oh,
I
oh.
don't watch him personally, but, like, he still has a strong viewership.
Oh, super strong. His community is so.
Yeah.
But there's something about his channel about how the community now has become just as essential as PewDiePie himself,
Yeah.
which is amazing. That's something so cool that only YouTube could really bring,
Yeah.
you know? And, yeah. It's really interesting. But yeah, if anyone else did all the shit he's done, there's no
The guy
way.
dropped an N-bomb on stream. Like, he should have called someone the N-word. Well, not someone like a video game person, but still, like you were just like, what? I can't say it obviously, but
Yeah,
I'm not PewDiePie. I can't say it.
But okay, the one thing about that though is, did you hear when Ninja dropped the M-bomb? Like he put it. Everyone's like, oh, well, he put it in a song. Yeah, but he put it into a verse that didn't have the word. So it's like, is that okay? Are we saying that's okay then?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You know,
Whatever.
I don't know. I don't like Ninja. Me personally, Ninja, if you're listening to this, fucking 1v1 me in Fortnite, bro. I'll wreck you. I don't even know how to build, and I will whoop your ass, bro. And then once I do, you can ban me. I don't even give a shit. I'll dance after. I'll fucking stream snipe you. Come at me, bro. But I don't like that guy.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just annoying, man.
Yeah, he's big personality. Well, I remember when he was first he went on the H3 podcast, and I was like, man, I listened to it, and he's kind of egotistical.
Yeah,
and
I remember.
And then you were like, I don't know about that. Then you actually listened to it, and you're like, yeah, you're
Holy
right.
shit. Yeah, dude, that podcast pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
Honestly, what happened to the H3 podcast though?
I don't listen to it anymore. So
No, I don't either. But they had Bill Burr on. Oh, I love Bill Burr, but it got awkward and like really weird. Like I only watched one part of it, and it was this moment where like Ethan brought up something, and then Bill Burr just went on like this huge rant, and it just felt like Ethan doesn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because it just got super weird after. Like it just made it really cringy.
Yeah.
You know. Which is a shame, but. Actually, I want to shout out, even though these guys have more views than us, one of my favorite YouTube channels, Corridor Digital, has now put out their own podcast thing called the Corridor Cast, and I think it's really good. So, if any of you listening need a podcast to listen to,
listen to our old podcast first.
Yeah, listen to ours first. Subscribe. Then go over there and say, the foolish youth sent us. You know, let's have that just completely drain the chat, you know?
Yeah. That's some good advertising right there.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably just be me with 10 different accounts being like, the foolish youth
I might toss in a couple as well.
They're going to be like, holy shit, these people really like the foolish youth. And then they look and see all our views are only like 10.
Very loyal audience.
Oh, man. What can we do, though, in 2019 to get more views? What do you think, Dave?
Probably sluttier thumbnails.
Yeah, less shirts, you know? I mean...
Yeah, I'm thinking we could wear those V-necks that, like, go down to your belly button.
Oh,
The
man,
V-part.
I've always wanted to buy one of those. Those seem so comfortable, but at the same time, so uncomfortable. Because, you know,
Oh,
like...
that's an actual thing? I kind of just made that up.
Well, I know Jennifer Lopez once wore, like, a dress that, like, went down to her. I was like, damn, that's scandalous. You know? But...
Yeah, I reported her.
Oh, man. But, yeah. I mean, do you think there's going to be a lot of big changes in YouTube in the next year? Like, do you think the world is going to have a lot of changes from 2018 to 2019?
Will the world change over the course of a year?
Well, like, of course it will. But, like, I don't know. I found 2018 and 2017 pretty similar in the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But you think there's going to be a big hiatus?
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's kind of hard to predict what's going to happen over the course of a year. I'm kind of interested to see where YouTube's going to go from here, because I feel like it's kind of at an all-time low in terms of public perception.
YouTube's at an all-time
Yeah.
low.
So, like, that'll be interesting to see how that goes. But, yeah, I'm just excited for Game of Thrones to come back. That's what I'm most excited for.
Oh, my gosh. Dude.
Like, I'm already getting hyped. It's in April.
Oh, my gosh. Also, One Punch is coming out with Season 2. I don't know if you watched it, but...
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
No.
Oh, my gosh, Dave. Okay, I know you're not a big anime guy,
I've never watched anime.
but of all animes, this is something that everyone can get into because it is fucking funny. That's just what it is. Like, the humor works for anyone. Whether you like anime or not, it's funny, it's interesting,
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I highly recommend you
Okay,
watch it. And Tanner, I feel like you haven't watched it.
I can bet all my money that Tanner has not watched that.
Tanner, comment down below if you've watched One Punch Man. If so, you will gain all of Dave's money, which is huge, I think. I mean, let's not get into financials here, but oh man.
Yeah, you might actually be paying my.
Oh, yo, speaking of financials, actually, I had a huge thing. Cause
Flex on us.
well, no, yo, I made millions this year. But a big thing is I got this for Christmas. I got one of those prepaid visas.
What?
Like when my parents just got me one because like I'm away from home and it was almost like to do shopping. Like they
Yeah.
just wanted to help me out. Turns out, both cards were frauds. Someone went in, like scanned the bars.
Okay.
And then replace them with something else. So like there was like a con man
Yeah.
in Cambridge stealing all these visas.
Oh no.
I was like, holy shit, that's wild. But
Do you get your money back? Then?
yeah, we're
Okay.
like there's no issue with that. But
Okay.
to me that was insane though,
That's high
because
stakes, man.
Cambridge is such a small town.
Well, like what, 140,000?
Yeah, I guess that's not that small. But honestly though, the mall at Cambridge is getting pretty crazy. We have a bowling alley, we have Indigo, we have a sports complex coming in. It's crazy to see
sports
this.
complex. What does that mean?
Like
They already have a hockey arena. Right?
now they're hoping to have like 2 or 3 like ice rinks in there, so you
No
can do
way.
full on tournaments, like a full sports complex in
crazy.
there. It's crazy
Yeah,
because
I used to play hockey there.
yeah, it's nice, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's alright.
Because the nice thing about it is if you're not playing hockey, you can just walk around the mall, you know,
Yeah.
and have fun.
Well, it's kind of weird because aren't like the locker rooms? Aren't they like a full-on walk away from the rink?
They're like
Bit of a hike.
a little bit of a hike,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's a nice rink though. Like,
Yeah.
I never had issues with it.
but it's crazy though because I moved to Cambridge about 15 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
15 or 16 years ago now,
hmm
and it was so different. Like,
When you were 3.
yeah.
you
Well,
were-
like even when I was like 5 or 6,
Yeah. Okay.
like everything was so much less. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's crazy to see how just in like 10 years, the amount of production and improvement in this city
Yeah.
is getting to the point. Like I've heard rumors that Kitchener, Waterloo, and Cambridge might become like one super city.
Yeah, they might amalgamate. That's the term.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be wild. Well, I mean, it makes sense because like you can go through those 3 cities without going on any highways. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, like it's all connected, right?
Mm-hmm. That would be so cool, because then that would be able to compete with Toronto, you know?
Yeah. Well, it'd be like a total like 500,000 people population. Well, also if you take into like the like St. Jacobs, like all of the Elmira, if you take all
yeah.
that as well, like that could. Yeah, like it's a pretty big community here, like southwestern Ontario, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Ontario's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, though, I'm ready to go somewhere
Yeah,
else.
I don't blame you, man.
Because, man, Ontario's rough. In terms of weather, like, this is harsh. Although, right now, what the fuck is happening,
Yeah,
bro?
it's 9 degrees out of nowhere.
It's beautiful outside. But, it's probably gonna be like last year where it's fucking snowing and ice storming till April. Which is no
I
fun.
remember like I was driving back from like exams in like April, and like I'm just like the roads are not safe to drive right now, and it's fucking April.
And it's April. Well, I remember exams were canceled last year. That's how bad.
Yeah, in April. Like that's insane.
That's insane.
Especially when like it's like December, back end of December right now, and it's 9 degrees outside. There's no snow. Like. I mean, I don't remember if climate has always been like this, but it's just so erratic now. Like, it's definitely something weird going on.
I definitely think climate change is
Oh,
a
yeah.
factor. I think it's ignorant and foolish when people just straight up ignore.
Yeah.
Like, whether you, like, are a fan of going green or not, you cannot say that climate change is not a thing. Like,
Mhm.
that to me is just bullshit.
Yeah.
You know? That's just you just not wanting to accept the fact that we're ruining
Yeah.
the world.
That's just denial at that point.
Yeah, it's ignorant denial, though.
When
Like,
people are like, oh, you know, it snowed outside, so therefore climate change is not a thing.
and they're like, oh, well, weather's always been crazy. Yeah, but fucking this crazy? Like, I don't know about that, big guy. You know, like if weather was this crazy back in the times of like the medieval ages and shit like that, no one would survive.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell they'd survive. We can only survive because of the technology.
Yeah, yeah. But it's also the technology that we made that made the weather like this.
Oh my gosh, this is so crazy, man. Cause and effect.
It's ironic, isn't it?
Yeah. So that brings up the question: what's the cause and what's the effect?
Yeah, I know.
Or are they both causes and both effects?
Deep questions like that is what we will find the answers to in 2019.
In 2019, yeah, this is gonna be a
That's a
huge year
2019
for us.
question.
We're gonna be going on a huge spiritual journey
Yeah,
this year.
of course.
You know what? I think this has been a good podcast, but I want to end it off on this. 2019. What are your hopes for this year?
What are my hopes for 2019? Probably just like keep working hard in school, get a good job, and not die. I kind of like where my life is right now, and I just want to keep going, keep it going. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I mean, for 2019, my big thing is kind of to find answers in life, because I find my life is so much about like questions, like
Yeah.
what about this, what about that? Because right now everything I'm doing, I find is such a crazy risk and like so many questions that come
High
with
stakes.
it, you know. And I'd love to just have a few answers, but I mean it's kind of fun not knowing.
Yeah.
It's like life is still mysterious. Life is still like exciting because
Yeah.
it's like what's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah, I couldn't live the life you live, man.
It's-
Going to Vancouver
Yeah.
for like an education in like a really competitive industry, like good for you, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
Big balls on the lad.
Yeah, it's scary. It
Yeah.
honestly is. Like, in all honesty, 90% of the time, I'm like, holy shit, am I ready for this?
Oh, that doesn't
But-
sound good.
But well, the thing is, you're always gonna have that fear if you're shooting for something
Yeah.
exceptional, you know. But I really believe this is what I'm supposed to do,
Yeah.
and I think it's gonna be one hell of a good year. Honestly, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. And I hope all of you listening at home are ready for 2019, because that'll be the next time we see you.
The U of Dave.
All right. All right. See ya.